At decades, the music industry has been ruled by an untouchable class of billionaires who seem to operate completely above the law. At the very top of that pyramid sat the ultimate power couple, projecting an image of pure perfection, unimaginable wealth, and absolute control. But almost overnight, that pristine billion-dollar empire has started to crack. It all began when 50 Cent, a man known for never holding his tongue, went on social media and said out loud what the rest of Hollywood was absolutely terrified to whisper. He pointed directly at the newly unsealed federal document dumps and openly questioned how a certain hip-hop mogul got tangled up in the darkest, most twisted criminal network in modern history. The internet went into an absolute frenzy, and people began connecting dots that had been hidden in plain sight for years.
50 Cent jumped on Instagram and posted the article on his page and wrote the caption, "I know I'm late on this, but this is kinda crazy. What do you do to get thrown into that mix?" And he posted a picture of Jay-Z and wrote the caption, "Damn, they got my man Jay in the Epstein files. I gotta do a doc on this."
The true nightmare began to unravel when researchers dug into a specific federal tip submitted back in 2009. According to the files, on July 10th, someone made a terrifying phone call to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. The government was allegedly redacting and scrubbing the evidence to protect individuals who were not victims but active participants. But attending these twisted elite gatherings was only the tip of the iceberg. What the files suggest these billionaires were actually funding behind closed doors is the stuff of absolute nightmares.
Now, this is a tip back in 2009 that was sent to the FBI that references Jay-Z, Harvey Weinstein, and Pusha T. It says, on July 10th of 2019 at 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time, someone called the FBI National Threat Operations Center to identify herself as a victim of abuse by Jeffrey Epstein and others. This person said in approximately 1994, she revealed herself as a past victim of abuse by Epstein. She described the abuse that occurred during parties, and she also described someone as a friend of someone. In approximately 1996, she revealed that she resided with someone somewhere. An unknown man abducted someone from her home when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, known as Jay-Z. This person claimed that Harvey Weinstein inserted his fingers into... She believed that she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. This person estimated that she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an indoor setting. She said that she suffered abuse on multiple of those occasions in which Epstein participated. She claims that she recalled Leon Black and William Barr, the current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of the abuse.
The investigation allegedly revealed that a massive part of this criminal network was heavily focused on genetics. Emails and documents hinted at a horrifying operation where marginalized women were explicitly targeted, not just for typical trafficking, but to harvest their eggs and stem cells. Billionaire associates connected to this dark ring openly discussed their investments in stem cell technology, specifically seeking out the DNA of young, perfect specimens to extract the nucleus and use it for their own twisted pursuit of immortality.
Stem cell technology that Peter and I are investing in is called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. They just go in and take it out. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. Negroes have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that. So, girls, for $100, we will pay you for your egg.
I pay you $100? Monkey.
So how much do you want for it? Let's bid. I bid $500 for the Olympic. Whoever I bid, he's going to outbid me. I bought about $60,000 of eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, and placenta, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells. When we regard it as waste, then it actually should be. It should be captured, it's recycled, and it shouldn't go to waste.
The most chilling part of this revelation was the alleged role of the music industry's biggest power players.
Beyonce was found in the Epstein files, giving up to 16 of her fetuses for Epstein, and states in one of her songs, 16 carriages. I gave them away while I watched them all get their plate. What the You're joking. What is this life? Y'all are not looking into this deep enough. Go through the files. Go through them. Take the time. Don't sit here and say you know the Epstein files if you did not go through them. Also, the government released these files as PDFs. Did you know that if you change the .pdf to .mov, they're actually movies? They're lying to you, and they redacted people's names and photos that actually were not victims because they're trying to hide. But in some of those clips and some of those emails, it shows a small tidbit of the redacted statement or a redacted photo, and ChatGPT will actually read through all of those images and tell you what it says.
If you strip away the glittering awards and the billion-dollar tours, a very different, highly unsettling picture of this power couple begins to emerge. For years, former employees, backup dancers, and industry insiders have been desperately trying to warn the public about the dark spiritual practices going on behind the scenes. The pristine PR image of a devout, untouchable family is heavily contradicted by people who have actually worked in their inner circle.
Apparently, Beyonce is being accused again of doing black magic. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with, and all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of witchery, okay? Listen, there was a lady that went live on Instagram, okay? She called out Beyonce for trying to harm her kid. A model and dancer, Khadijah Shari, made some disturbing allegations against Beyonce. She's gorgeous, by the way, okay? She takes to her Instagram and says, "Are you effing kidding me? You called for my child to be..." It says R-word? That says, "You evil effing witch. At Essence, check on my child. I'm about to blow this through the at Beyonce. You went too effing far. You gotta be kidding me. I'm the child you offed to be a star. You forgot you were only supposed to be a star. On the tree, giving orders of takeouts. Never want with your stardom." I don't know. Never went with your stardom. Watch what you all do in this time. When it was happening to me, I kept my mouth shut for my career, not my goddaughter. I'll blow your world up. Destiny's Child, really, Jigga Man. This breeds manic. It breeds a little bit of bipolar.
But the most damning testimony came from international pop star MIA. After signing a massive deal with Roc Nation, she claimed that immediately upon signing, the very first thing the mogul demanded was for her to get plastic surgery. But the demands didn't stop at physical alterations. MIA revealed she was heavily pressured to cover herself in fake blood, swim in black goop, and wear devil horns in her music videos just to sell records.
I met Jay-Z and I signed to Roc Nation. The first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. People make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce because that's it. And enough is enough. I'm coming for everyone now. And even Adele, because she's retired now, but her career would not exist if I hadn't made Jonathan Dickens into a manager. And when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce. Oh, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. Fuck that. All be a witch, all be that, all of that. Fuck all of them.
For as long as he has been in the public eye, Jay-Z has operated like the Teflon Don of the music industry. No matter how severe the allegations or how damning the evidence, absolutely nothing seems to stick to his permanent record. You have to look all the way back to 1999 to see the foundation of this untouchable persona. During a massive industry party at the trendy Kit Kat Club in New York, an altercation erupted that ended with a record executive suffering a brutal stab wound. Jay-Z voluntarily turned himself in to the police, and the media went into an absolute frenzy, broadcasting his mugshot and predicting the end of his rap career. Yet, his legal team went to work, spinning a masterful defense that essentially allowed him to walk away with a gentle slap on the wrist.
A top rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stab. fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect person.
He completely bypassed severe prison time and evolved into a corporate billionaire. But his ability to dodge legal bullets didn't stop in the 90s. Just recently, an explosive lawsuit surfaced that threatened to bring down both him and his close associate, Sean Diddy Combs. A Jane Doe came forward with horrifying allegations, claiming she endured unspeakable abuse by the two moguls when she was just 13 years old.
All right, now to burden of proof, where we jump into some of the biggest legal cases of the week. Joining me today is former Florida State Attorney Dave Arenberg. Dave, good to have you back again on this Saturday. We want to begin with this big development. The Alabama woman who said she was by rappers Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs when she was 13 has actually withdrawn her lawsuit against both men. Both men have denied these claims, and documents submitted by her attorneys did not include any reason or explanation for the withdrawal. Jay-Z's release. His attorneys released a statement saying, in part, the system has failed, and claims that this was simply a money grab. What do you think happened here?
Bill, good to be back with you. This was a troubling allegation because, first off, there were inconsistencies with her story, and it was a very serious allegation. And for instance, she said that her father picked her up from Rochester, New York to New York City, 5-hour drive, and then drove her home that night. But the father did not remember any of it. That's something you would definitely remember. And she also said there were other celebrities she spoke to at the party. Those celebrities were not even there at the party.
While Jeffrey Epstein was alive, the people operating in his sinister orbit felt completely invincible. But since his highly controversial passing and the unsealing of his private files, a tidal wave of panic has swept across the globe. We are no longer just talking about musicians and Hollywood actors. This network reaches the absolute highest seats of international power. To understand the sheer magnitude of this criminal web, you only have to look at the recent headlines coming out of the United Kingdom. Just recently, the world watched in absolute shock as Prince Andrew was formally arrested. This was a monumental, historic event, marking the first time in over 400 years that a member of the British royal family had been placed under arrest.
Before the release of these files, Prince Andrew completely denied any wrongdoing whatsoever. In fact, his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, actually died before she could expose him. Virginia was working on writing a book that had details of her assault when she was hit by a truck. Somehow, Virginia survived, but days later, she committed suicide.
I was so young. Keelan woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." I didn't know at that point that I was going to be hooked to that prince. And then that night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, "Let's dance together," and I was like, "Okay." And we leave Club Tramp, and I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey, and Ghislaine said he's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved.
And the royal family wasn't the only global powerhouse getting dragged down. Former EU Trade Commissioner Peter Mandelson was also arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The unsealed files allegedly revealed that Mandelson had been passing deeply classified government information to Epstein regarding the 2008 financial crisis bailouts, allowing the disgraced financier to pocket billions of dollars from the inside.
Lord Peter Mandelson, former UK ambassador to the United States, is now under arrest. British police announced Monday that a 72-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now, this is a little bit different than what we do here in the United States. So first, sometimes you have an arrest and then charges. We don't see official charges as of yet. And also, I will tell you what's different is the UK police, they typically don't name the subjects of investigations, but the subject of this particular case has been previously identified as Mandelson. And the way they describe it, I think you can put two and two together. However, I will tell you, despite the fact that the allegations against him are indeed or seemingly connected to Jeffrey Epstein, he has not been accused of committing any sort of crimes or as far as we know, okay? The accusations, as far as we can tell, mirror those actually against former Prince Andrew. You see, Mandelson is accused of passing secret government information along to Jeffrey Epstein more than a decade ago. According to a statement from the Metropolitan Police, Mandelson was taken to a police station for an interview. There are search warrants that were served at 2 addresses in connection with this case. So I said that, he's accused of passing sensitive information to Epstein when he was serving as business secretary from 2008 to 2010. There are also allegations, by the way, of financial transfers.
Jeffrey Epstein. It was one thing to be friends with him in the early 2000s, quite another to keep your friendship going with him when it was clear and he had a conviction for abusing young women. Why did you stick with him?
Well, it was a most terrible mistake on my part. I believed the story he told in 2008.
You described him, though, as your best pal. We've all seen the pictures of you relaxing with him on holiday in a bathrobe. During the time you spent with him, did you ever, at any point, see or hear anything that gave you any cause for concern? Anything whatsoever?
So how does a hip-hop billionaire fit into a circle of global politicians and international intelligence assets? The answer was found in a chilling email recovered from the files. The CEO of Barclays Bank allegedly wrote to Epstein explaining that the only reason the general public hasn't started a revolution against these global elites is because they have been successfully pacified by bread and circuses. The email explicitly pointed to hip-hop culture as the ultimate distraction, allegedly concluding that the streets had been successfully bought off and controlled by Jay-Z.
One of the emails shows the CEO of Barclays telling Epstein that the reason there is no revolution against the pedophile elites is that the public has been pacified by bread and circuses like hip-hop culture. He concludes, the group that should be in the streets has been bought off by Jay-Z.
We are witnessing the real-time collapse of the most protected, heavily guarded empire in modern entertainment history. For decades, the public was fed a perfectly curated narrative of musical genius, unmatched wealth, and cultural royalty. But the unsealing of the Epstein files has ripped the mask off the industry, revealing a terrifying network of genetic harvesting, dark spiritual practices, and unimaginable abuses of power. From the terrifying 2009 FBI tips detailing abductions in Florida mansions to the international arrests of untouchable global figures, the evidence is becoming impossible to ignore. The music industry wasn't just a platform for art, according to these federal documents, it was actively used as a weapon of mass distraction to pacify the public while the elites operated in the shadows. The untouchable era is officially over, and the idols we once placed on pedestals are now desperately scrambling to avoid the federal spotlight. But this leaves us with a terrifying question to consider. If the biggest names in music and politics were able to hide these monstrous secrets in plain sight for over 20 years, what else are they keeping buried in the dark?
Been seeing them Epstein files?
That's pause.
Pause is necessary.
yeah, that's facts. What kept you away from that type of shit, the Epstein shit? There's a lot of people in them files.
I'm not gay.
Simple and fucking plain, nigga.
Hey, simple and plain. Don't play like that.
Right.
Nah, for real.
A nerd can't tell me what to do or influence me. This is what I know. My partners, people that I work with, people that I've teased, people I've laughed at, people's wife that I've f***ed. Them niggas in the Epstein files.
Jeez.
That shit scares me because they eating the rumor, allegedly. Because I don't understand everything I read and everything I hear.
Propaganda.
Crazy. But what I do know is my name ain't been mentioned. And if you did mention my name, immediately I'd be like, y'all bugging. Show me some footage. Because what I know is God sent evil to test you. But if you don't succumb to evil, evil will spare. Because all my partners that are being mentioned, I've hated them for a while for the betrayal. But now I'm like, damn, you love me so much that you wouldn't include me.
Right.
So now Jay's my brother. I love him. And if what they say is true, he's a devil. But if he's not,
I got
it is what it is. But somebody's lining them up.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one. Exactly. He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him. Thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, he's been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
You think Ghislaine Maxwell woke up every single day picking children? No. We're losing the plot. And it's just like the American people in the comments. I knew she was wrong. Jay-Z, I knew he was. What did it say Jay-Z did? He was there in 1996. Come on, people. Like, y'all are falling for it. It's the easiest, oldest trick in the book. And honestly, I'm losing faith in the average intelligence of the American person. Because, come on. Just because somebody's name is mentioned in a 3 million document file of a person's life who's been lived over crimes who've spanned decades, doesn't mean that every single person is an accomplice. He could be mentioned. He referenced Jay-Z once. He was like, oh, we could learn from Jay-Z's business model. Why are y'all, where's the crime? Focus.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, did you at any time play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, have you ever coerced, directed, or otherwise instructed any young woman or girl to provide favors to Mr. Epstein or any other individual?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, did you and Jeffrey Epstein attempt to surround yourselves with influential individuals to curry favor and shield yourselves from potential scrutiny?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, can you please provide us with all the names of other additional co-conspirators to the crimes perpetuated by you and Jeffrey Epstein?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.